Plaidstallions Toy Ventures. I am Brian, your host. It has been a crazy busy summer for me, and even though I kept collecting and picking up odd things, the time to make videos was hard to find. So this episode's a bit of a catch-up on the knockoffs I've been buying over the last few months. I've actually gotten a couple requests to do a new knockoffs episodes. So let's open some boxes and I can show you some purchases that would seriously disappoint my grandparents. First up, we've got the Star Warriors. Now, I did an episode ages ago about the Star Warriors because I had a series of toys with this header card. Those were generic, Action Man Fighting Yank ripoff figures wearing the Mego black hole outfits. I'm assuming that there was a lot of overstock of those in the late 1970s. These, on the other hand, are all factory seconds of Mego 8-inch Star Trek figures. And some of them are in nice shape, and some of the others, you get why they're here. Starting off, I have a lovely Mr. Spock dressed as Captain Kirk. For some reason, this one's got his shirt tucked in, but the rest don't. We have follow-up with an actual Captain Kirk figure in the Captain Kirk outfit, which is a rarity for this range, it seems. As evidenced by, damn it, Jim, I guess I'm an engineer now. This is Dr. McCoy rocking Scotty's tunic. And this is rare for these kind of figures, but the silver foil is still on this tunic. It is nice. And oddly enough, I also have a Scotty rocking Dr. McCoy's outfit. I don't think the people who put this together were big fans of Star Trek, but again, Scotty's got his little silver foil, and he has two left hands. This is definitely a factory reject figure. But Scotty's not alone because I also have another Spock with two left hands in a baggie. At least he's got his blue tunic on this time. Next up, we have the Klingon, and at first I thought he was a perfectly normal figure, and then when I got a closer look at the face, and it's hard to show here on camera, there's something going on with the face apps, and especially his lips. There's just red all over the place. It's a little more Klinger than Klingon. On that same Star Trek front, I had picked up about a year ago, I think, this Telly Play Favorites figure. And it's just Captain Kirk, but he's got Palitoy Space 1999 legs. With a huge Space 1999 fan, I was really glad I was able to track one down. Keeping with the theme of space trekking, we have Star Explorers. And this is a 1/6 scale figure, a 12-inch figure. And he is wearing the outfit from a toy line by Gilbert called Moon McDare. And that was, their astronaut character. It is not uncommon to find toys with discarded Gilbert parts. I've seen a lot of James Bond stuff in my time. But this is the first time I've seen one with a Moon McDare suit on. This thing is heavy, by the way. The figure itself is not Moon. I believe it is just a generic, Action Man clone, and I've had a bunch of these in different discarded uniforms. Around the back, you can see that he has the Captain Action Flash Gordon belt and pistol. I believe that these were also used in the British Tommy gun line as well, but I could be wrong there. When I look at something like this, I don't feel the kid's getting ripped off. Sure, the doll doesn't probably have a lot of articulation, but that suit would limit articulation anyway. You get a gun, you get a holster. I mean, it would be really awesome if he had a helmet, but I can just pretend the atmosphere is breathable there. Keeping with space again, we'll go to Space of the Apes. This is a series, I've actually done a video on these before. I've been collecting these for years, of damaged or factory second parts of Planet of the Apes figures, and they all come with this massive machine gun that they can't hold. It is definitely for a 12-inch figure. The previous figures, for the most part, all had terrible head paints. You could see why these figures didn't make it to market and were scrapped. This is no exception. Actually, this may be the worst one I've ever seen. It's a soldier ape head, but it definitely looks like he's foaming at the mouth, like somebody really missed on the old smile. He's adorned in a military outfit. It kind of looks like a Action Jackson knockoff, like Mighty Gary or something like that. He's got that gigantic rifle, and then he has yellow superhero boots. So he's quite a dapper fellow, and I think he's probably my favorite of the Space of the Apes figures I've picked up. And I've seen a couple come and go recently, and I didn't pick them up because I felt satisfied, but I had to have this guy just because he's so goofy and special and stands out in the crowd. Also, I think he has rabies. Much like the Star Warriors, the superhero figure range is not really a knockoff. What they are is just unsold merchandise put in baggies. I'm quite fond of these, and I have quite a few of them, but they're definitely not knocked off. They're real Mego or Palitoy figures. But the normal thing you usually get with these is just a generic Mego superhero. Sometimes it's complete, sometimes it's missing, sometimes it's a fist fighter, and other times it's just the plane. There's never anything really too wacky about this series. It's pretty straightforward, and that's probably why I like it. You get these beautiful mint figures. But this one kind of made me laugh. I just realized looking through my stuff that I had a Human Torch dressed as Spider-Man and a Spider-Man who appears to be on fire. Stuff like this and upside down figures on cards, it's not like they have a tremendous value to anyone. It's much more of a lark, a bit of a conversation starter, if you will. I value this piece a lot just for the kind of intrinsic goofiness that is there. And I'm also a huge fan of the Human Torch Mego. I pined for one as a kid, so every time I find one of these in a baggie, it's kind of special to me. Also, it's just that I found like a ton of different Spider-Man. And it's just always cool to find a non-Spider-Man. And I guess with this entry, we're going right back to Sci-Fi. It is Tyrann Galactique. This is a French series that I've picked up a couple of figures from, none of which seem to be related to each other in terms of scale or design, and they're all kind of wonderfully weird. And this one might be one of my faves. She is a 12-inch fashion doll that seems to be dressed like the Devil Girl from Mars, if you get that film reference. And it's just such a wonderful, unique design. And these are kind of the funnest of knockoffs because you're not 100% sure what they're knocking off. It's probably Star Wars given the era, but they kind of missed the mark and went a little too, 1950s with it. And that was kind of common back in the day. What also really works for me on this is that she's not alone in my collection, and I never intended to do this, but I have been picking up a lot of space-themed fashion dolls in my journey, mainly things like the Star Maidens, based on that English television show. I did an episode of it, and I'll put it here. And these wonderful figures called the Galaxy Maidens, which were exclusive, I believe, to Ben Franklin stores. I did an article in an issue of Toy Ventures magazine a while back, and I just always loved their weird 1960s alien makeup on them, and it's just one of those things that I just absolutely gravitate towards in terms of its kitsch value. And hey, if you enjoy looking at bootleg action figures, please consider checking out my book, Knockoffs, Totally Unauthorized Action Figures. It is available at my shop, on Amazon, and at better comic stores everywhere, and it is a full-color romp into the world of copyright infringement. That's my episode for this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. I plan to do a lot more this month now that the summer is over. Please let me know what you think of knockoff toys. Do any of these interest you? I'd love to know in the comments below. Or you can hit me up in our Facebook group, Mego Knockoff Headquarters, where we talk about important subjects like this all day, and I can't believe some of the stuff we see. Thank you for watching the video to the end. If you're new to this, I hope you'll consider subscribing. If you're not new, please consider sharing. That's all the time I have this week. Be well and talk toys, not other people. Cheers. Also, if you like this subject matter, please check out some of my other videos on it.